confirm me that you all can hear me and my screen is visible to you. So, hi. So we missed last week's sessions. So we'll try to cover some extra time now onwards, and we'll try to cover the things.
Raghu, your voice is breaking, and sorry, good morning first. Your voice is breaking and there is a lot of background noise.
Okay, 1 minute. Is this okay now? Is this clear now?
Mm-hmm. Looks like there's some kid in the background.
Okay, I hope it is now clear because I'm using earphones and everything is perfect from my end. Anyone having the same issue, guys? Is my voice audible? Any issues from my end?
Yes, your voice is much more audible now.
Okay, super. So I hope there is no issues from network or any audio now onwards. We'll have a smooth sessions. So in last week, okay, we tried to understand some of the concepts of AWS, right? So okay, all the live documents also uploaded into LMS. So we try to understand today some of the important topics in AWS. And okay, we'll go for it. So in the previous sessions, we tried to understand what is the volumes, how to create a volume, how to attach a volume to instance, right? Such kind of things we try to understand. Okay, previous session we stopped at load balancers. So we'll try to understand today what is load balancer, okay, and how to create a load balancer. Okay, what exactly the load balancer is, we try to understand. Okay? And how the auto-scaling load balancer CloudWatch will work together, we try to understand. So before going to start, okay, what is first ELB, Elastic Load Balancer in AWS? So what it does, it will try to distribute the traffic equally to all the registered instances. ELB will distribute the traffic to all the registered instances across the assets, across the availability zones. So let us do a task here. So I'm trying to create a load balancer here. So I'm going with first of all, I'm going with a classic one, which is instance level, okay, which is server level. So I'm trying to create a load balancer. So I'm naming it as something test load balancer. So I'm creating by default a default VPC. In a while, we'll try to see, okay, what is the custom VPC, how to create it in our environment, we'll try to see. So it is an internal load balancer. If I check this particular one, it is for your internal applications point of view. But I'm not checking this as I want to create it as an external load balancer. That means I want to get a request from over the globe. Okay. So here two things are there. Till the load balancer, how you want to get a request. From the load balancer to the instances, how you want to send the traffic to the instances. So two layers here. From the user browser to the load balancer, how you want to get the request. From the load balancer to all the registered instances, how you want to send the traffic. Okay, these two things. So let us say if you want to assign an HTTPS, okay, user can only access over HTTPS. Yes, you can do that. But only the thing is, we have to have a SSL certificate on your website. If you have an SSL certificate, if you purchase it from the vendor, you can map that SSL on this particular server. Okay, so you can have a HTTP, plain HTTP request over browser as well. Okay, I want to send it. So one of the important thing here, if you apply the SSL over the load balancer, till the request will come to the load balancer over HTTPS, that offload the SSL over the load balancer itself, and it will send the plain HTTP request to the servers. That means the load, that is offloading the SSL will be done at load balancer level. In that way, we can reduce the load on the servers as well. Okay, so we'll try to go with HTTP as of now. If you want to add more protocols also, you can. So what is the security group you want to assign? Let us say I'm having a demo SG, which is having protocol 80 is allowed. Okay. So health check. One of the important things is health check. So in a definition of the ELB, what we discussed is ELB will distribute the traffic to all the registered instances which are healthy. How can I define a healthy instance? For that, we have a health check mechanism. The health check mechanism will work in this particular way. Let us say my instance is having the index.html page. So continuously my ELB is trying to get the index.html page over the port number 80. It is testing whether the index.html page is serving or not. Continuously, for every 30 seconds, it is waiting for 5 seconds. Every 30 seconds, it is sending a request to the instances on port number 80 is trying to access index.html. If it is responded in 5 seconds, it will treat that, okay, that instance is healthy. If it is not responded in 5 seconds, okay, it treats that instance is unhealthy. So, if it is unhealthy threshold 2 times, if it is continuously 2 times not responded, it treats that instance is, okay, unhealthy instance. So that, okay, it will not send the traffic to that particular instance. Though it is unhealthy instance, still it will send a traffic to that particular instance till that again, okay, get into the healthy instance. Suppose again that instance come back. If it is responded continuously 10 times, that is up to you what is the configuration. Let us say 2 times. If it is again responded back 2 times, again it will treat that, okay, healthy instance. Sometimes you may not have the index.html as your application, right? You may have PHP info. If you have a PHP info, it may not respond that for index.html. Sometimes you may have some other applications. Okay, it may not be the HTML page or PHP page, some other applications. At that particular scenario, so you can set up the php.info here, or else you can set up the, okay, only TCP level I want to check. On TCP level, if the port number 80 or whatever the port number you require, if that port is open, if that port is working, that's it, okay? And treating that instance is healthy. Or HTTPS, SSL, wherever you want, okay, whatever the protocol. As of now, we'll try to look at this particular scenario and I'll show you that other scenarios as well. If you want to add manually the instances, you can add it. As of now, I don't have any instances running in my environment. So, okay, my intention is automatically that instance need to be added with auto scale. I don't want to add any instance manually, right? That need to be done by auto scale. Okay, let us see that scenario. So, what is the cross zone load balancing? What is the cross zone load? Cross zone load balancing is nothing but, okay, whatever the traffic you are getting, I want to distribute the traffic to all the instances which are located into multiple availability zones. To make high availability applications, we install our server in multiple availability zones. So I want to distribute the traffic to all the registered instances across the availability zones. Remember, the scope of the ELB is region. You cannot distribute the traffic to other region. I hope you all know what is a region. A region is a geographical location separately located in different countries. So ELB can distribute the traffic to different availability zones, but not to different regions. So connection draining is nothing but if any instance having issue with so it will try to serve that particular existing request, and it will not allow any new request in that particular time. Okay, you can add tags. Okay, I want to create that particular ELB. ELB is created, but we haven't added any instances as of now, right? You can check the ELB details over here like this. ELB will give you one DNS name, A record. Okay, you can you can work with the A record directly as your website. So instances, if you look at the instances, there is no instances as of now. Health check, This is the health check mechanism we have given. The listeners on port number 80 we are listening. Okay, the monitoring, we don't have any instances. So unhealthy host or healthy host, we don't have anything as of now. If you want to add any tags, you can add it. So if you have an HTTP, you can add. If you have an HTTPS, suppose, let us say you added a secure mechanism, so you can have a SSL certificate. You can add an SSL certificate. So SSL certificate can be purchased from one of the vendors like Symantec or any other vendor, or else Amazon is giving the free of cost. The SSL certificates are provided by Amazon. So you can create an SSL certificate by Amazon. So Amazon will give you only for AWS resources, not for other outside resources. The certificate, the ELB or whatever should be on AWS. Then only you can use that SSL certificate. Okay. So if you have an existing SSL certificate, you can choose that, or else upload new SSL certificate, AWS Identity and Access Management. We didn't discuss IAM as of now. Okay, I'll come across that again. Okay, if you want to have an SSL on your website, secured HTTPS mechanism, yes, you can do that. Okay, you have to assign a SSL certificate over here. So let us do one thing. Now we'll jump into auto scaling. Okay, just we created a load balancer. We haven't added any instances as of now. So the next thing what we are trying to understand is auto scaling. So auto scaling, load balancer, CloudWatch will work together as I discussed in a previous session. So my intention, what is my intention now? Let me explain the intention. Okay, we have one site like flipkart.com. They announced a big billion day like 50% of the discount on that particular device. Now, or else any particular huge request you are getting, automatically that should add more instances to your website based on the requirement. If there is no load, automatically it should terminate those instances. That is the intention. Right. So that is the intention. So what I try to do now, what I'll try to do now. So we'll try to launch an instances over here. Okay, 1 minute please. I'll try to close unnecessary internet applications so that we can use our resources much better. Okay, so now our intention is to create auto scaling. What auto scaling does? Auto scaling spin up more instances as per the requirement. So how it will get this? How it will get the instances? When you want to start more instances as per the requirements, it should know what is the operating system you want to get. What is the AMI you want to get? What is AMI? Anyone? Amazon machine image, right? What kind of AMI I have to get? What is the size you require? Type, I can say type of the instance. Which security group I want to take? Which key pair you want to take? These are all the configuration details we required to auto scale, right? Auto scaling required these many things to launch a new instances. These configuration details, they call it as launch configuration. Okay, as of my say, it is launch configuration. We required a launch configuration to auto scaling to start spin up a new servers. If you look at here, if you want to create an auto scaling group, let us say create an auto scaling group. To create an auto scaling group, it is asking us to create a launch configuration first. What the launch configuration says? Entire config details for your auto scaling. So look at, let us create a launch configuration first. I'm taking a free tier eligibility. Okay, I'm saying Amazon Linux, but in your company, you may create your own AMI, right? in your company, as per your standards, you can create your own AMI. You can install the application on it. Okay, make sure that everything is production ready. Okay, as per your requirements, you create your own AMI and select that. Okay, in this particular scenario, I'm selecting one Amazon Linux, which is free tier eligible T2 micro. Okay, so now okay, name it as, what is the name of the launch configuration? Let us say launch configuration, test launch. Okay, test launch configuration. Right. So okay, let us say if you want to go to advanced details. So what is the user data? Okay, it is asking us the user data. If you want to have any kernel ID, you can select it. Okay, what is the user data? User data is nothing but in Amazon, whenever you say user data, when you launch instance in advanced details, you have a user data in Amazon. Okay, the user data is nothing but you are giving any script. Okay, that user data script will execute while system booting. Right? User data is nothing but it is a script. It will execute while system booting. You can give whatever the script you say. Let us say I want to install an application. You want to get some code from the GitHub and I want to install an application on it while booting. Okay, while booting I want to install an application means I want to make my system production ready. Okay, I want to make my system production ready. Let us say, okay, let us get some scripts for user data. Okay. So what I'll search, AWS, okay, user data, okay, script for Linux instance, okay, script for Linux instance. Okay, a number of, okay, based on your requirement, you can, you can execute the scripts. So just as a sample script, and what I'm trying to do is I want to install a LAMP stack on top of it. Okay, I want to install some LAMP stack on this particular server. The LAMP stack is nothing but Linux, Apache, MySQL, and PHP application. Okay? So, okay, this is the script I want to execute. So let me explain. Just we are trying to understand the AWS autoscaling and load balancing. So if you look at, just let me explain the script what it is doing. It is using the bash shell and okay, it is updating a repository and installing all the required packages for the LAMP stack and starting the Apache service. Make sure that it is running across the reboots, that is persistently on, and it is make sure that it is a PHP application is installed. So I want to get it installed while system booting. Whatever the instances Amazon autoscaling is starting, automatically whenever there is a requirement, autoscaling is spinning up more servers. While system booting, I want to install this particular application. Right. Okay. So do you want to require a public IP to the instances launched into the VPC? Yes, if you want to have a public IP, you can get it. Okay. So assign a public IP address to an instance launched, okay, in the VPC default. Okay, default you are getting a public IP. So let us say, okay, now you can go to the, okay, review, create a launch configuration file. So what the key pair you want to add? Let us say you want to create a new key pair. Yes, you can create a new key pair or existing key pair you can use. Okay. So I say something I've created a random key pair. Okay. So now create a launch configuration file. This launch configuration file help you to auto scaling to get the details. So what are the things I've defined in my launch configuration file? I created an AMI, I selected AMI, operating system type, security group, key pair, and also I've given some user data details. So these are all the given information in launch configuration. Now, this launch configuration I'm submitting to autoscaling. So autoscaling, whenever there is a requirement, it will look at the launch configuration file. How it is getting the requirements from the CloudWatch. Okay, we'll see that now. So, okay, autoscaling look at the launch configuration file. Launch configuration file is having these many details. Based on the requirements, With these details, we will start the more servers. Let us see now. Now it is jumped into the auto scaling. So what is the launch configuration name? Test launch configuration. What is the auto scaling group name? Let us say test auto scaling. Yes. Okay. Whatever. So it is asking us what is the minimum size of the servers you require. I said I require 2 servers. I require 2 instances. Where you want to have the 2 instances? I want to have in one subnet, that is AP South 1A, another subnet that is in AP South 1B. What it means? So I want to have 2 instances in 2 different availability zones. One is in 1A, AP South 1A, one is in AP South 1B. So by doing this, you'll get a high availability application. That means your entire availability zone 1A went down also. Still your request will served by this particular 1B. Am I right? Okay. So if you go to the advanced details, see that it is asking what is your load balancing. So whenever I'm starting 2 instances or more instances based on the requirement, do you want to map to any load balancer? So that the traffic will be distributed by the load balancer. Yes, I have a load balancer. Receive traffic from the load balancer. Yes, the load balancer name I have created it as test. So these 2 instances will get the traffic from the test load balancer. Okay, so let us do that. So we'll go for the next. Here, keep the group as an initial size. The initial size I have given 2 instances. You want to keep that as 2 itself? Okay, just a minute, guys. There is an issue from one of the participants, Shrikant. Guys, can you all hear me, right? So only Shrikant have an issue. Shrikant, please check from your end so everyone can hear me. You all can hear me, right? Shrikant Jain, Sailesh, Ahmad.
Yeah, are you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Okay. So now the scaling policy. Okay. The scaling policy. So there is 2 things. So you want to keep that instance. Okay, instance. I've started with 2 instances. You want to keep that as it is, or else you want to scale up or scale down based on the requirements. Yes, I want to scale up and scale down. Okay, the capacity of the servers based on the requirements. Scale between 2 instances, minimum and maximum. I want to go with maximum 4. So my business is approved to go maximum 4 servers at any point of time. Right? If there is a load, I can spin up to 4 servers. That is up to you, like what is your business requirements, okay? What the business is approved based on the financial requirements and financial feasibilities and all. Okay, they can say how many instances you can have at any point of time. Okay, so at any point of time, the minimum should be 2 to get an high availability application, and maximum I can go up to 4. So you can name it as increase the group size or scale up instances, whatever you want. But how to start more instances? I want to integrate the CloudWatch mechanism here. So the CloudWatch will generate alarm, that's it. Whenever the CloudWatch has generated alarm, I want to do some task. What do you want to do? I want to add more instances. Let us say create an alarm first. So I want to create an alarm here. Whenever the average CPU utilization, you can say whatever, the minimum, maximum, sum, okay. But general practice, we can take average CPU utilization. You can take what disk reads, disk writes, network in, network out. Okay, most of the scenarios will deal with the CPU utilization. Average CPU utilization is greater than or equals to, I say, as a practice, I'm taking 50%. But in your regular practice, you can take 85 to 90% of CPU utilization. Okay. For practice purpose, I'm taking a 50% of CPU. If my two instances, average CPU utilization for 50% for one consecutive period is nothing but 5 minutes I have taken here. You can take 5, 15, 1 hour, whatever. So if 5 minutes continuously the instances are 50% CPU utilized, I want to create alarm. That's it. So I want to create an alarm. That's it. Alarm is created. CloudWatch has generated only alarm. It doesn't do much else. Based on the alarm, if the alarm is generated, what you want to do? Add. I want to add one more instance. Whenever the alarm is generated, I want to add one instance. You can add instances. You want to set to the number of the instances, that is up to you. The general practice is add one instance or percentage of the group. Percentage of the group means if 2 instances are running, if I say 50%, it will add one more instance, right? So it will add okay, the add step is nothing but if you want to add take any space, time between any 2 steps. If it is added one instance, you want to take any particular time. Okay, that's kind of it. So as of now, I'm saying that whenever there is an alarm is generated, when 50% of the CPU utilization, I want to add one instance. So let us say you have 2 instances. Now CloudWatch is monitoring those 2 instances. It has reached to 90, 80% or 50%, whatever the threshold value you have set. If it is, the average CPU utilization is 50%, immediately it will generate an alarm and it will add one more instance to your application. Automatically, we have added the load balancer to it. It will inform to the load balancer saying that, okay, I have added one more instance. Please try to distribute traffic to that particular instance as well. Right. Okay, we have scale up. Okay. When there is a node, there is a known load, I want to come down also. That means scale up and scale down as well. So when you want to scale down, let us say, again, I want to generate an alarm. Whenever there is a average CPU utilization is less than or equals to something 20%, I want to generate an alarm, one consecutive period, 5 minutes. Okay. So it is generating one alarm. Okay. If it is generated, I want to remove one instance. So what it does, if let us say 4 instances are running in my environment, it will check the load of all the 4 servers. The average load is less than 20%, suppose. It will remove one server. Again, it will remove one server. Up to 2 servers. Why? Because I said minimum is 2. At any point of time, it should not reduce more than 2 servers. Right? If it is deleted all the servers, okay, our application went down, right? So I want to make sure that the 2 servers are running at any point of time. Right? So this is the configuration I have set it. Any doubts in this particular scale up and scale down policy, please ping me on WhatsApp. Sorry, please ping me on chat window or else, okay, you can unmute yourself and you can ask now. Okay, this is one of the key things where the scale up and scale down mechanism will work.
Kiarajan here.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah.
Please go ahead.
Suppose the traffic is increased, my instance is beyond this 4 instances, or how to add this instance?
Your query is if it is behind 4 instances, what
muted,
right? That is the question, right? Am I right?
Yes.
So here the thing is how you want to set up the your environment. Okay, as per the business requirements, you agree with your client saying that okay, maximum 4 instances I want to get. So if your client is agreed to go behind the 4 instances, you can edit this maximum number of instances per year. But it is again depends on the business requirements. So I said maximum 4. So it will not go more than 4 instances. It will not go behind 4 instances. Is that clear? That is up to you, like how many instances you required at any point of time.
Actually, this is business based on this business want to increase. Suppose the instance is greater than 4 means I need to add this manually. Add this 5, correct?
Yes. One time you have to say, suppose let us say 10. So it can go up to 10 instances.
Okay.
Okay, so that is a mechanism.
Okay.
Okay, let us see now. We'll go forward. I hope you all understood. If we have any issues or any concerns, you can just raise. So, yes, please.
Yeah, I have one query regarding if the CPU utilization is less than suppose 20%. Okay, so in that case there is a 4 instance are running. Okay, so in that cloud remove the instances. I mean, there is a sequence or any out of 4 anyone remove from the
A very good question. I'll come across that question now. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. The question from the Raj Kumar is, I'll tell you. One of the nice questions is. So what is here his concern is, let us say 4 instances are running. So while it is terminating the instances, right? We discussed that afterwards. It is going to remove the instance when there is a less load. So how it will choose which instance is going to terminate? So that is a question. So okay, let me explain that. Okay, how that is going to decide. Okay, in a while we'll come up more that. Okay, so okay, nice one. So let us see this configure the tags and all. If your tags are very important in AWS point of view to automate the stuff. Okay, so review, and I want to create an auto scaling group now. So what are the prerequisites we observed in creating an auto scaling group? Just we'll try to recap it. So in creating an auto scaling group, we required an auto scaling group first. To get an auto scaling group, we required a launch configuration, and also we required an ELB to distribute the traffic. We required a CloudWatch to monitor the servers, right? So CloudWatch will tell to our auto scaling. Okay, let me show you that. CloudWatch will monitor the servers and inform to auto scaling to start or stop the servers. Auto scaling will get the details from the launch configuration file. In the launch configuration file, I defined all my required details. Right? Sorry. Okay, I defined all these things in this file. So the auto scaling is created now. So automatically it is going to start minimum 2 servers now. Okay, let us see that. Now how many instances are running now? If you look at the instances, number of instances as per the requirement, as per the schedule, see the 2 servers are running. Just it is started now. It is an initializing state. Right? One instance is in 1A, another instance is in 1B. As I told you, the instances will be distributed across the availability zone. So, okay, so it will install that in round robin way. It will distribute the traffic to, ELB will distribute the traffic to in a round robin way to these 2 servers. Right? So, as I told you, auto scaling also informed to load balancer, okay, to register these 2 servers. Let us say load balance, go to load balancers. Okay, if you look at the load balancer, it will try to register those 2 servers. If you look at the instances, these 2 instances, see that? These 2 instances are going to register, but it says that out of service. Why it is out of service? It is trying to check the health check. So instances has failed at least one unhealthy threshold number of health checks continuously. That means what? It is trying to do health check. What is the health check it is doing? It is doing an HTTP request on port number 80. It is trying to get an index.html. It is requested 2 times. 2 times it is failed. So it says that it is unhealthy instances. Out of service. It is out of service. So why it is out of service? Let us see that. Okay? So we'll go to the instances. We'll check whether this particular one is working or not. We'll try to get the public IP. From the public IP, we'll try to check whether the page is working or not. Okay. So, okay, if you look at this particular one. Okay, we'll try to check whether directly IP is opening the web page or not. Okay. Okay, the security group is also one of the important things. Which security group it has taken? Okay, view the inbound rules. Whether the port number 80 is opened? No, port number 80 is not open. So what I'll try to do, I'll try to change the security group of the auto scaling. Okay, so that it will able to get the details. Okay, let us go to auto scaling, and if you look at the details of this particular security group, see that number of instances are running 2 now. Okay, so this is the launch configuration name. It is a load balancer name. Minimum desired is nothing but at present how many servers are running. Okay, desired capacity is nothing but at present how many servers are running. If suppose let us say you want to run manually 3 servers, you want to immediately change number of servers to 2 to 3. So you can edit it and decide make it as 3. So it will run 3 servers. Okay, so where I can assign, where I can change the security group. Activity history. If you look at the activity history, whatever happening, you can see that activity history, that 2 servers are started manually. The scaling policies is these 2 are the scaling policy we have. Instances, as of now 2 instances are there. Monitoring, now you could see that something is happening over here. The notifications, you want to send any notification to your mail or your mobile, you can do that. So let me do one thing. I'll go to instances. I'll change my security group to work with port number 80 to enable the port number 80. So someone says in an interview or someone, the client says that my instances, I'm unable to connect to my website, or else I am unable to connect to my instances. So what are the things you have to check? The checklist is, first you have to check whether your instance is running or not. If it is running, the 2x2 checks are working or not. I hope you all know what is 2x2 checks. It is trying to check your hardware and software connectivity at Amazon level. So once these 2 are done, you have to check your security group, whether that particular IP, particular port is enabled or not. Let us say I'm connecting from one of my IP or subnet. So you have to check whether that particular IP or port IP is allowed or not, and particular port number, which port number they are connecting, either port number 80, 443, 22, whatever, whether those are enabled or not. So what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to change my security group details here. So change the security group. I'm allowing the security group which is having port number 80. So in the same way, the other one also I'm trying to allow. Instance. So one of the reason is why ELB is unable to connect it. One of the reason is it is are not allowed to connect up on port number 80. Now if you look at the port number 80 is enabled or not in demo SG. Yes, port number 80 is enabled. If you look at the port number 80 is enabled from anywhere in the globe. Right. So now try to access your server on directly with IP address. So still it is unable to access my server address. The instances, let us select one of the instance. This is my IP. This is my IP. Let us open in a browser.
That actually worked for me. I'm able to launch the Amazon Linux AMI test page.
From my IP?
No, I created one in my AWS. And while you're doing it, it's working now.
So if it is working, even it should work for me as well. So let us see why it is not working for me. Let me take some other browser. So this is my public IP. Let me connect it. Test pages. Let me check. Actually we have. Let us see that what is the user data is using. We are given some user data, right, at launch configuration level. Yes. The problem here is the launch configuration level. We have some copy. The copy also there. That is a wrong launch configuration given here. There is a script level. There is a mistake. That is why I am unable to connect to that particular instance. So what I'll do, Now, this is one of the learning experience. Now, I'll tell you that something. Let us say you change some application level, you want to change something. Now, so what I have to do, we have to change the launch configuration details, right? Whenever you want to change anything, you have to change the launch configuration details. So what I'll do, I'll change my launch configuration details. If you want to edit your existing launch configuration, or else, okay, you can change from you can create a new one, okay? Let us say copy launch configuration, but okay, I want to change some advanced details, security group, storage, these are all fine, but only advanced details I want to change, okay? So configure details, okay? Okay, in advanced details, I want to remove this copy option, okay? This is the mistake, okay? Okay, add storage, security group, all fine. The security group level, I'm creating an existing security group, that is demo SG. I want to select review and okay, create a launch configuration, fine. Then, okay, so if I close this, I want to, okay, this is the new launch configuration, test LC copy. Okay, I'll delete this old one to avoid the confusion. Okay.
So does this mean we can't edit the existing launch configurations?
Yeah. Ideally, you cannot do that. So what I'll do, I'll change my launch configuration details in my auto scaling. Okay. So go to auto scaling and edit the launch configuration details. Okay. Go to edit my launch auto scaling, and what is your launch configuration details now? Test one. Now you save it. Now you tell me that the existing two servers are launched with the test launch configuration one, the old one. Now you are in your company, you got a latest application or latest version of the application you created as per your AMI. Now you want to have in your production the latest launch configuration servers. Okay, that is the latest one you required. Now one of the questions from Raj asked me how it is going to terminate, which servers is going to terminate. If you look at the configuration details here is what is the termination policy? There is one option called termination policy. You want to delete only the old instances, old launch configuration, new instance, or else closest to the next instance. That means, let us say in our scenario, we have an old launch configuration servers. Now I want to start a new launch configuration servers. Now, when you terminate, which servers you want to terminate? Actually, as per my production, I want to have a new launch configuration servers. I want to terminate oldest one. So I can say either old instances or old launch configuration servers. Right? Then I can save it. When I save it, now still your servers are old launch configuration servers. So what I do, I said minimum is 4, maximum is also 4. Now what happens, immediately 2 servers will get started, right? When I say minimum 4 and maximum is also 4, immediately what happens, I said minimum 4, so it will immediately change to number of servers 2 to 4. So let us do that, okay? Immediately it will start number of servers from 2 to 4. Let us see that, okay? What happened? The desired capacity must be, okay, let us say desired capacity is nothing but current number of servers, right? So I'll save it. So the number of servers now, it will become 2 to 4. Now look at the servers. Now it will going to start new 2 servers. Okay, we are looking different scenarios in AWS auto scaling level. Let new servers are running. But my client is asking to have a minimum 2 servers. So,
okay, so here while adding the new instances, basically we don't get the option to select the availability zone, or it automatically selects?
It automatically selects based on the round robin mechanism. Let us say first instance is launched in 1A, and second instances will be launched in 1B. So you have selected three availability zones, suppose 1A, 1B, 1C. In round robin mechanism, it will choose all the availability zones. Okay, So now you see
Okay.
all the 4 servers are running now, but as per my requirement, the new launch configuration servers need to be run and old should be terminated as per my production. So what I'll do, so immediately I'll make it my auto scaling group run minimum servers to 2. Either you can directly terminate the old instance instead of you doing manually. So what you do is go and say in auto scaling, terminate the old instance. Okay, you can say minimum number of servers is 2. If I say minimum number of servers is 2 and desired also 2 as of now, so what happens? It will become 2. That means it will terminate 2 instances. Which 2 instances it will terminate? Oldest launch configuration servers it will terminate. You can choose whatever, old servers, oldest launch configuration instance, new instance, whatever. If I say new instance, whatever the new servers just now launched, it will terminate. Am I clear with this? Anyone having doubts here? So, okay, let me say this. So what happens? It will terminate the 2 instances. Okay, it will terminate the 2 instances which are old launch configuration files. Okay, which is launched by old. See, these 2 by 2 checks, whatever they're done, those 2 instances will get terminated in a span of minutes, and the new instances will get up and running as per your settings. Okay. Let us say, okay, so there is a question from, okay, I could not see your name, I'm sorry for that. Before terminating the server instances, all the work that is being done by those servers will be copied fast, I guess. Okay, okay, Ashok, I'll tell you one thing. So here we are applying remember one thing, auto scaling can be done on the only web layer servers. You cannot do it auto scaling on the database servers. Why? Because if it automatically starting the servers and terminating the servers, if it is database servers are terminating, you will lose the data, right? So web servers are only helpful to to get your web pages on your browser. So you don't require to have any work done by the servers to be stored in somewhere. Okay? It is only the web servers we are applying this particular technology, right? So all the data will be having in your database servers or app servers. App servers also that will be stored. Whatever the transactions you are doing, that will be make sure that it will be saved in your database servers. Right. See that all the 4 servers are. It is showing that all the 4 servers are running. But let me refresh. Ideally, it should terminate the 2 old servers. See that it is terminating the 2 old servers. Now let us see the new server having the web page as per my script I have given. Okay, let us see that. So we have to make sure that it is having. See, the test page is open. The individual server level it is open. But what is my intention? My intention is it should work as a load balancer. Okay, it should work on load balancer level. Let's see that. Okay, we'll try to have some other page. Yeah, one more important thing, guys. Try to install Magnus on your server. I want this class. So, okay, I'm trying to give another instance that, okay, 2 applications or 2 web pages are opening on my server. But which application is opening? phpinfo.php. Which page we are opening? In your var www.html phpinfo.php page we are opening. So we'll try to check the ELB level, elastic load balancer level, whether these instances are registered with healthy instances or not. We'll look at it. We'll go to the load balancers. In a load balancer, we have a test load balancer. And if you look at the instances, still it is out of service. I can, individual server level, I could open the web page, but load balancer level, those instances are in out of service. Why? Because if you look at the health check, it is checking for index.html, but as per my script, I have given a php.info script. So either you can edit your page as PHP info. Okay, let us say we'll try to edit this one to as a PHP info page. or else you can make it as only you can check it on a TCP IP level. Okay? So either you can edit this particular index.html page. Okay, let us save this. Okay. Immediately check that instances are in service. Whenever I change my application to check, so immediately it says that okay, index.html. If you see the description, okay, if you look at that particular A record, we can open directly now my two instances. Okay? So okay, this is my A record. So what I can do directly, I can say instead of IP address, individual IP address, I can open those applications with my ELB. See that? This is the first page. If I refresh, I could say that okay, to the second page. It is distributing the traffic to two different instances. As two instances having same web page, we could not okay make difference. But okay, if you connect to the server and if you check the details, okay, you can find that okay. If you change any web page, you could find that okay, this is the two different instances. Okay, so let me connect to one of the server and we'll change some. We'll change some settings. So okay, so CD desktop downloads. Here I have a key pair, right? Where is my key pair? Just I downloaded a new key pair. There it is. That is in this particular location. So that is in downloads, the AWS.com. Okay. So instead of converting again into the PPK, so what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to connect one of my servers, and I want to show you the differences between two instances, how it is okay redirecting the request, how it is distributing the request to all the registered instances. So okay, I'll try to connect one of my instance. How to connect with the okay, if you want to connect it from your Mac OS or Git Bash, you have to do in this particular way. Okay, you make sure that you have a read permissions on the purpose. Keep it there. If you want to connect to the putting, so what you have to do, you have to convert that into PEM file, PEM file to PPK file, then you can connect it to the putting. Right? So you can do in this particular way so that you can connect an instance. Okay, what I'm trying to do here, I'm trying to do SSH. Key pair name is my AWS.com, and this is my instance ID. So okay, let us connect with this particular one. Right. So it will establish a connection. It will try to do an SSH. Oh, okay. With the username called EC2-user. Okay, I've connected to the actual instance now. So we'll try to change some of my settings. Okay, var www html. Let me go to that particular first. HTML. If you look at there is a php.info file. Vi. Okay, what I'll do, I'll try to okay vi. Okay, php.info file. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll try to remove this particular one. Okay, so instead of doing this, what I'll try to do is, I'll try to remove that php.info and php.info. Yes, I want to delete it. So I want to create an index.html. Okay. Index.html page. Okay, I say, okay, this is to test ELB. Okay, so save this file. Okay, just reload your HTTP service HTTP reload. Right? Okay. Bye. Okay, now AWS HTTP remove it before. More index.html. Okay, let us see directly with this particular instance whether we could able to open with the instance or not. So what is your instance IP? This is the instance IP. So let's open this directly from the instance. Okay, this is just ELB, fine. So now if you look at the ELB, it will fail that particular one. Okay, if you see that ELB, the instances, one of your instances is out of service. Why? Because our health check will be happening on php.info, but one of my server having index.html. Because of that, it is an out of service. So whenever you try to open with the ELB, it will try to connect to only one server. Okay, look at that. So I'm trying to connect to one of my ELB. Okay. So okay, ELB name it is. So whenever you refresh it, it will go to the only one server page. Why? Because other server is an out of service. So what I'll do, I'll change my health check mechanism. Instead of checking any particular application, I want to make it as a TCP level check. So whether port number 80 is enabled or not at security group level, that's it. Whether it is the servers are accepting the port number 80 or not, that's it. So yes, we'll get that alert. Okay, if it is out of service, we can get the alert. Okay, I'll come across that. So
Raghu, one question.
yes, please.
Okay, so you basically what you did was you went ahead and you changed the configuration of the file via using the command line. So while we are in the AWS, can't we change that manually in the AWS console itself?
No. AWS will no. It will not allow. See, AWS will only allow you to start servers. It will give you the services. So if you want to connect the servers and then you have to change. See, the server administrator can connect to the servers and change as per the requirements. Let us say you want to install Java. You want to install some macOS. How can we do that? You can connect to the servers and you can install the application, or else you can write execute the scripts or anything. So you have to connect to the servers and you can change the configurations as per the requirements.
Okay, so here basically when we go to load balancer, we can only see one setting. For example, under health check, once we edit, we can only ping one particular path. But if we have to differentiate them both, we'll have to do that manually using the command line.
Yes, that is right. To show you, okay, the difference between those two instances, I'm trying to change that. Ideally, all the servers will maintain same kind of applications, right? So I want to show you how the load is distributing to the different servers. Just I change the application. Okay. So okay, now if you look at the instances, I'm trying to. So if you look at the two instances now in service, now if you check that particular load balancer distribution, how it is happening, the first request went to that one server, second request went to the second server. If I refresh it again, it will again distribute it to the first server, again second server, again first server. So what is doing now? It is trying to distribute the traffic to all the registered instances across the globe. See that second server. Okay, you can also check that particular one. I'm trying to give you the ELB endpoint on the chat window so that you can access it. So what is doing now? It is trying to distribute. Now you see, you suppose, let us say you connected to one of the flipkart.com. You are trying to purchase one product. You have given the credit card details.
Raghu, I have the one query that's it's like a active to active or active to passive. For example, if you have done some changes on the one stance, and then one stance is working fine, and then other stance is getting the issues with through the load balancing. So it's possible. It's like a active passive or what? Because that's I think
it is active kind of thing. It is not an active passive. So see, all the instances are, basically the load balancer will decide whether that instance is healthy or not. If it is healthy, then only it will send the traffic to that particular instance. So that is the first mechanism. So all the instances will evenly distribute the traffic. See that if you refresh it, it will equally distributing the traffic to that particular instance. Now the scenario is, let us say you connected to one of the e-commerce site like a flipkart.com, you purchase one product and you are trying to purchase it, and you've given all the all the credit card details, and then you unexpectedly you refresh it. So what happens immediately? It will launch to, it will connect to the new server, and it will again the page will get new page will get again it will ask you to log in. So if it is happening continuously, what you will feel that there is an issue with this particular server, right? So what they have given is they have given a one mechanism called sticky session. At ELB level, they have a sticky session. Sticky session in the sense at your browser level, okay, they'll enable the sticky session between your browser to that instance. So whenever you are refreshing, if you observe your any bank application, if you log into any bank application, if you didn't do anything for some time, so automatically it will get logged out and it will ask you to for the new session, right? So until unless you are working on that particular application, so it will not log out, right? It will continuously, it will stick with that particular application. So here also we can do that step by sticky session. You can enable the sticky session, edit the sticky session, enable the load balancer generated cookie session. So I want to put some 60 seconds over here. So if the user is working continuously on that particular session, it should not, okay, it should have a sticky session with your browser and server. If he is idle for 60 seconds, I want to expire the session and you should log in again. And that means it will redirect your query to the new server. Okay, now I've saved it. Now you try to refresh. Okay, you are in your browser, you refresh it. It will stick with one server. You n number of times you refresh it, it will stick with only one server. Right? So that is the enabling sticky session.
Raghu, one question here. If you make changes, you have to make change in all the instances manually, or does it resync?
No, see, these are all the individual servers. You have to do manually. Or else you can write a script, or else you can do some automations. Okay, we'll try to learn in a chef or Puppet how can we synchronize the changes, any changes at a time. You know, all the instances we can learn in a chef or Puppet.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. That automation can be learned in auto configuration management tools like a chef. Okay, as of now you try to understand how the sticky session can be enabled in a load balancer. Now let us say you have two servers are running. Okay, two servers are running and you want to do some maintenance. So Amazon will have some events. So you could see that, okay, if you are working on AWS, okay, whenever you went to office, you have to check the events every day. The events are nothing but, okay, they'll send you a notification if there's a background, if your server is running on one of the hardware, if the hardware is going to retire or if they want to do any maintenance on the hardware, they'll send you the event or notification saying that, okay, this hardware is going to retire in coming days, so try to change your server in a different hardware. What you have to do, you have to stop and start the server to get a new hardware. I hope you have discussed it already. So in this particular auto scaling scenario, if I stop on a server, if I stop any server, what happens? As per the auto scaling point of view, at any point of time it should run two servers. So if I stop it, what auto scaling treat? Okay, the server is terminated, so I have to get the new instance. Okay, let me show you that. Okay, so I'll try to stop one server. Immediately that instance will get terminated and it will launch a new instance. But your intention is manually you are doing some maintenance, or okay, intentionally you are doing, okay, you are stopping the server. Okay, intentionally you are stopping the server as part of the maintenance. But what auto scaling doing? Auto scaling treating that, okay, this is the bad instance, something went wrong with that, and it is going to terminate it and launch the new instance, right? Okay, that is the auto scaling property, auto scaling behavior is that. Okay, so if there is an issue within any instance, it immediately will get terminated as part of the minimum and maximum number of servers. Okay, it will start, okay, minimum servers, so that, okay, in a while it is going to terminate. So how to avoid this scenario? So let us say before going to start your maintenance, okay, if you are working in IT, so most of you know that, okay, you will do a maintenance activities in, okay, whenever there's a patching activity happens or any certain activities or from Amazon given notification, see that it is going to stop. Okay, it is stopped, but okay, in a while you could see that, okay, there is a new instance will come up as part of the auto scaling activity. So how to avoid this particular scenario? To avoid that particular scenario, before going to do an activity, you have to make sure that you have to suspend the behavior of the autoscaling. How to suspend the behavior of the autoscaling? You can edit it, and you can suspend the process of the launch. That means I don't want to launch any instance. I don't want to terminate any instance. I don't want to health check all the activities of the autoscaling. You can suspend it. Once you're done with the activity, you can start the server again. Then you can resume back your activities. Okay, you can just suspend all the activities of autoscaling, and you can save it. So that what happens, it will not terminate your instance. You see here the activity of the activity history. So one of the instances is terminated just now and launching new instance now. You can check that here. You can check it. So the whatever the stopped instance has terminated. Okay, whatever the stopped instance has terminated, and running the new instance. That is the activity of the autoscaling. Am I clear here? Any doubts in this way? What you have to do, suppose if you want to do any maintenance on your instance, check first whether that instance is in autoscaling. If it is in autoscaling, just suspend the activity of the autoscaling and do your maintenance, reboot it, stop and start, whatever you do it, and again resume back to autoscaling. Okay, am I clear here? Any doubts here, guys?
Raghav, I have one question.
Yes.
Yeah, actually, I have we have tried the script correct. Only for OS, we select a particular OS and we need to install that particular software. Okay, when the instance is create the new one. Okay, through autoscaling. Okay, suppose what happens, I'm using this. I'm using this Java application create the war file. In this script, I need to install the war file into that script or not.
Okay. So good question. So let me explain. The question here is, I think, hope you all get it. If not, I'm trying to explain what the question is. The question here is, if I have if I have a server, new server is launching, how can I deploy my any var file or jar file or any particular deployment? How the deployments can be done? So generally deployments can be done with the if you can write a script at user data level. Okay, you can write whenever the new launch server is launching, you can look at the user data. Okay, you will look at the user data, and it will download if it is there. Suppose it is the var file is located in your FTP server, or else if it is in GitHub, or if it is an S3 bucket. Okay, it will go and get the data and download on your server. There are in a DevOps there is a number of practices are there. Based on your company requirement, you can select it. Okay, so you can do in that particular way as of now. When you learned in a Jenkins or when you learn Chef Puppet, you can do the automation with the Chef Puppet or Jenkins in that particular way also you can do it. Okay? As of now, with the AWS understanding, okay, you can work with user data as a writing your own script. Okay. Clear?
Okay.
So okay, we'll try to look at some of the options in autoscaling, and we'll try to wind up autoscaling and we'll look at some other options. Okay? So in autoscaling, we have some other options as well. Let us say your client has requested you to have 4 servers in a business time, and 2 servers in a after business hours. That means from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. they want to have 4 servers to get a business requirement, and 9 p.m. to 9 a.m. they want to have 2 servers. That means in autoscaling we have a scheduled activity as well. The schedule create a scheduled action. I can say some scheduled action minimum number of servers is 4, maximum number of minimum and maximum of 4. When you want to do it's a cron schedule. Okay, from tomorrow onwards. Okay, at every day, particular at what time? 9 a.m. Okay, 9 a.m. I require 4 servers. Okay, done that. Then okay, you can set maximum, minimum, and you can write one more schedule activity at 9 p.m. You want to every day 9 p.m. you want to make it as 2 servers. That means You can have a schedule activity as well. Okay, you can do some actions here. You can, if you want to have action, okay, schedule activity, you can delete it, you can see it. Right? So that is the one of the other one. So okay, that's it from for auto scaling and load balancing in my. So we'll look at some of the other options today with auto scaling and all. So there is a one certification question you'll get in this particular one is, okay, these are all the certification questions you'll get, a number of questions. If I want to create an auto scaling book, what is the minimum requirement? You can say launch configuration, where you can use launch configuration, such kind of questions you'll get. And in load balancer level, how can we have a health check? Okay, you need to be clear at conceptual level so that whatever the question you they're expecting, you can do that. Okay, there is one more certification question you may get. It is what is the placement group? As I discussed, placement group is nothing but, okay, you can, if you have a high bandwidth between any two servers, you can create a placement group and launch the servers in that particular placement groups. Okay, there is a one, if someone asks you for the placement group, you can say that, okay, if you have a high bandwidth between any servers, any other servers, okay, you can create a placement group and launch the servers in that. And one condition is all the servers should be same availability zone. If the servers are two different availability zones, you cannot establish high bandwidth between that. Okay, there is a, if someone asks you, can we create a placement group servers in different availability zones? You have to say no. You can, all the placement group servers should be in the same availability zone. Okay. So okay, we'll take a 5 minutes break here, guys. And again, okay, it is now 9:10. We'll start exactly at 9:15, and we'll see S3 and VPC and rest of the topics today. And we'll try to complete today and tomorrow all the AWS. We are covering all the in-depths of AWS, and most probably we'll try to cover AWS tomorrow and first of tomorrow, and we'll start to get one of the version control tool tomorrow. Okay. So we'll have a 5 minutes break. We'll start exactly at 9:16. Okay, 9:16. It is 9:11 now. Okay, so we'll take 5 minutes break. We'll start at 9:16. Hi. Let's start our session. There's a question from Mohammed saying that okay, but what is the significance of having the placement? Okay? So the significance here, we can say, let us say your application server and database servers require a very high bandwidth to place your pages to display okay, any random item. You require very high bandwidth or high item. Okay? At that particular scenario, they require this particular placement groups. So they will have a dedicated bandwidth between those two servers. Your application engineer or someone asked you to have a high bandwidth into service at that scenario. See, what we are trying to understand with AWS, we are trying to prepare an architect. Okay, so if someone gives you a requirement, you have to use the AWS resources and you have to design the architecture. So we are in that particular situation, we are choosing this. So we try to understand some other services. So one of the important services in AWS is S3. S3 is a storage service. So what exactly the difference? We have already seen one of the storage services in AWS. What is that? We have already seen one of the storage services in AWS. What is that? EBS, Elastic Block Storage. So we created EBS volumes and we attached this volumes to the servers. Am I right? So we created an EBS volume, it is a block storage. Right? We can create a number of block storages and we can attach to the servers. So how it is different from the S3? It is different from S3. So it is a storage service, but it's a shared storage service. It is a, if you look at Windows or Unix, it's the NFS and CFS kind of storage, but not exactly NFS or CFS. Okay, they call it as an object storage. The object storage is nothing but you can store whatever the object it is. It may be pictures, videos, MP3 format, MP4 format, or any particular stuff you can store in S3. So S3 is a storage service. You can create a bucket in S3 level and you can store all your content in S3 bucket. Let us say we have one project, you got another project. So you want to store all the content of the project in the particular S3 bucket. So you can create an S3 bucket in Amazon that should be unique across the Amazon account. Okay? So let's say across the regions, okay, the bucket name should be unique. Okay? Let's say I want to create a test bucket. If I want to create a test bucket in which region, in Mumbai region, wherever the region it is, okay, it should be unique. So the bucket name is already exists. So, okay, you make sure that when you create a bucket, it should be unique, right? So let us see some of the advantages with S3. So S3 level, you can store unlimited data. Okay, you can store unlimited data. Okay, unlimited objects. And okay, each and every object, okay, you can store unlimited data, but an object should not be more than 5 GB. Okay, it should not be more than 5 GB. Okay, it should not exceed more than 5 GB. Okay, that is one object should not. Object should not be more than 5 GB size. And you not only storing the data, you can access that particular object across the cloud. You can access the data across the cloud. Okay. Not only storing the content in the S3 bucket, that content you can have a static website. Static. What is a static website? What is the difference between static website and dynamic websites? Even what is the static website and dynamic websites? So if you have only web pages, okay, if you want to access that, okay, just we have seen a scenario, right? Okay, we install some web page that we are accessing over the browser. So we have only web pages. For this particular web pages, you have to create a server. On top of the server, you install application. On top of that, you install some web pages. Instead of doing all these things, if you put all the index.html or php.info files in the S3 bucket, and you can make that public, and you can make it as a website. Right. So very simple, right? So you need not to maintain the server for only having to maintain only static website. Okay, directly you can dump all the content into S3 bucket and you can enable the static website. That is the one of the advantage of the S3 bucket. Okay, you can maintain all the files as a version control. What do you mean by version control? So let us say you have your developers are developing Java code, and every day they are dumping the code. Okay, they are developing different versions of the file, storing in S3 bucket. Okay, so you want to maintain all the versions of the files. Yes, you can maintain the version control also. Okay, you can maintain all the versions. Not the version control is one of the advantage, and other advantages are you can maintain as a backup application. Okay, the backup applications is nothing but you can have a storage gateway. Okay, storage gateway to data center level, and you can dump all the data into your S3 bucket. So anyone worked on a backup technologies? So the advantage with the backups are like if you want to have a traditional backup, you should have some tape mechanism, tape drives. Okay, so you need to write over there. There is a number of issues with your backup. Right. You need not to have anything directly. You can have a storage gateway. Entire data will be backed up in the S3 bucket and restored also in a span of minutes. And you can store, you can save a lot of money. You can get a very cheap solution comparatively. It may be tape location, it may be data domain, it may be your storage, your own storage box. Comparatively, any other solution with a traditional location. Okay, so it is a very cheap solution. Okay. Okay. What is Shrikant? What you talking? What you find? Okay, fine. So we can have a backup. We can enable the backup mechanism. But what are the advantages we'll get with this? So Amazon says that if you dump any content into S3 bucket, they'll give you 99.99% of the availability. Yeah, 99.99% of the availability, and 99.99% of the durability. 99.99% of the durability. So what is the availability and durability? Whenever you're uploading any content to S3 bucket, it makes sure that it is copied to all the availability zones. Okay, that means if you are uploading any content, it makes sure that it is replicated to all the availability zones. So that if one availability zone went down also, still you can access that particular data from other availability zone. That is the one advantage. That is why they are giving 99.99%. The durability in the sense, okay, if you upload some around 1 lakh objects into the S3 bucket, there may be a chance of, okay, in a year there may be a chance of 0.0 up to 9 zeros, one file may be, okay, in 1 year you may do that. That much of the, assurance, that much of the service level agreement they are giving 99.99 availability. Okay, this is one of the certification question or education kind of thing. What is the availability and durability of Amazon? 99.99 and 99.99. But okay, if you have worked in a storage industry, okay, what they do in a storage industry is, so if you are frequently accessing any data, they'll put it into a high-end storage devices. Okay, let us say SATA, let us say SSD device or a flash device. If you are not using any data frequently, they'll put it into SATA, and they'll segregate the data access based on the data access. Okay, they'll put the data into different tiers, right? So in a AWS also S3 level, we have a different types of storage classes. Okay, let me show you that. Okay, storage class. Based on the storage class, the charges and the availability and durability will change. Okay, let me show you that. Okay, let us see some lab. Okay, let me create one bucket first. The bucket, okay, I'll make it as some tech students. Okay, let us say tech bucket. Okay, tech S3 bucket name should be in a small calculus. S3 tech S3. Okay. So in Mumbai region, I want to create. Select the bucket optional. Okay, copy the settings from the existing buckets. If you want to copy any the content from your existing bucket, you can use that. Okay, and say next. So if you want to keep multiple versions of the bucket in the same bucket, okay, if you want to do any changes, if you want to maintain multiple versions, you can set up. So as of now, I'm taking all the default settings. Okay. If you want to give any manage users, if you want to add any users to have access, if you want to make permissions, you can set up all the things. And okay, let us create a bucket as of now with the default settings. Okay, I've created tech S3 bucket. Okay, so if you want to upload any content into this particular bucket, you can say in the bucket again you can create a folders. Okay, let me say test folder. Let's see it, and you can upload that particular. In this bucket you can create whatever the folders you want. Okay, in that particular bucket you can upload the files or folders. Okay, you can add files now. So okay, let us say in download, okay, let us add some pictures. Okay. So let's add some pictures. Okay, let me add this picture. Okay, I can upload it. So this particular file is uploaded now. Okay, I can say upload. If you want to add more any files, now it is uploaded. In this particular way, you can upload any content, okay, programmatically you can upload or manually you can upload, or okay, you can do any number of things. So if every object will have one unique name, unique link. You can access that link across the floor. So this is the link file, link of that particular object. Okay, this is the link of that particular object. Okay, let me open that particular. So it is there. It is saying that you don't have enough permission to access the file. So that means, guys, just a minute, please. I'm getting a call from 1 minute. Thank you guys. Thanks for waiting. So see if I open any particular browser, okay, in a browser, if I open that particular image, it says that okay, you access is denied on that particular image. So what you can do is you can make it as public. If you want, you can make it as a public, but ideally okay, you may not, okay, you cannot make this as a public, right? So as of now I am showing that, okay, if you want, you can make it as public. Yes, make public. So once you make a public of that particular image, you can open that particular image across the globe now. Okay, even you can open that particular image now. Okay, I'm giving in the chat window so that okay, you can open this particular image. Right. So if you want to upload any content in a browser, okay, you can upload any content, any objects in a S3 bucket. And you, for every object, you will get an okay, endpoint. That endpoint you can open across the globe. Okay, see that if you see that the key, every object is having a key. Size of that encryption is enabled or not. If the encryption is enabled, yes, you can encrypt. You can enable the encryption as well, and you can have every object will have one particular thing. Okay, first we'll try to understand bucket level. Then we'll come to the object level. Okay, let us see that. Okay, take S3 bucket. If you look at the bucket properties, we have a different properties. As I told you, you can enable the versioning. The versioning is nothing but, okay, you can have all the versions of the files. You can have all the, as of now, by default, it is disabled. If you want to enable the versioning on the bucket, so yes, you can enable it. Let's enable the versioning. By enabling the version, all the versions, let us say you updated the file 1, let us say Java 1 file. Again you edited some file and again you updated with the Java 1. If you updated n number of times with the timestamp, it will maintain all the versions of the particular Java file. Right? That is nothing but, okay, you can enable the version. The logging. Logging is nothing but who access the files. Let us say from my particular IP, I connected to S3 bucket and I opened one particular image. Someone uploaded the image, someone downloaded the image, someone deleted the images. Whatever is happening, you want to get all the logs. Okay, yes, you can enable the logs. Where exactly you want to maintain the particular logs. Okay, you can see that how to access the server logs and all. That how to enable it and where exactly you want to maintain the log details. If you want to maintain the log details in the same bucket with a name called, okay, with any particular log folder name, yes, you can create it. Or else you can put it into the same region level. There is a one more bucket. You can update the logs over here as well. Okay, you can enable the logs where you required. Okay, don't enable it on your lab one. Okay, in production if you require, you can enable it. Okay, otherwise if you enable in a local level, if you forget it again, unnecessarily we store all the unnecessary content. Okay? So I'll come across the static website in a while. So we'll discuss the tags. As I told you, tags are very important in a AWS point of view. So we'll come to know, okay, if you want to have a tags over here, you can add like a tags, okay, for which project it is. I can say project is my something, okay, Mac for project whatever. You can say, you can who requested you to create, who created it, whether the version is enabled or not. Okay. All the details of your project, your S3 bucket can be kept in the tags. Cross-region replication. What is the cross-region replication? So let us say you have a database server in your one of the Mumbai region. You want to ship all the logs, database logs to US region servers. What I can do, all the logs ship to the AWS S3 bucket here and can say that cross-region replication. So that what happens, it will distribute the traffic, okay, it will synchronize the traffic, that particular logs to another region level, another bucket. Okay, suppose let us say in your, now we have in Asia Pacific South, okay, Asia. So I want to ship it to the another region like Singapore. There I have one bucket, let us say TechTrends bucket in Singapore is there. So I want to ship my data, my data from my S3 bucket to this particular TechTrends bucket in a Singapore region. So in that way, you can enable the cross-region replication. Okay? If you want to have any particular user role and so on, so you can do that. Transfer acceleration is nothing but if you want to have a high speed transfer, you can select the transfer acceleration. Events. What is the events? Suppose someone added the file, someone deleted the object, someone copied the object, whatever the activity happened, you want to get a notification for that. Yes, you can enable the notification. So, okay, you can enable the events, you can add a notification, someone put the object, someone post the object, someone copied the object, someone deleted it, multi-part upload. Multi-part upload is nothing but, suppose you have a very high, let us say you have somewhere around 1 TB object is there, you want to upload. Okay, the one more than 5 GB you cannot upload in a single file. So you have to upload it as a multi-part upload. Okay, you have to upload it as a multi-part upload. Then you can select that. So for that we have a number of applications are there. In a marketplace you can get it. AWS, S3, different applications are there. Okay, applications you can search. S3 browser. Okay, there is a one application called AWS S3 browser. You can, with this particular browser, AWS S3 browser, you can connect to the S3 buckets directly. You can copy, paste, okay, directly as a drag and drop kind of thing. Okay, this is one of the application most people will use to upload any files or download any files. Okay, AWS S3 browser. There are a number of applications are there. You can search in a Amazon marketplace and you can download it. Okay, that is the events. So request or pays are nothing but, okay, if you want to have see whatever the transfer rates, data if you are, so let us say you are working for a video streaming company. Okay, you are working for a video streaming company. There are data is transferring across the globe. So who want to pay the particular transfer rates? If you want, client want to pay it, yes, you can say transfer by client, or else you can pay it. By default, you will get the bills for the transfer. So one of the important thing we need to understand here is enable the static. The static enable the, if you click on the, okay, if you click on, use the bucket hosting websites. Okay. I think they have changed something. Disable the website hosting, enable the, okay, this is the, you can use the bucket hosting and you can give the index.html file over here. I can upload the index.html and error.html. That's it. Okay. What let's say I'm saying index.html here. Okay. Error.html. These files are not there as of now. I'll try to upload. Okay. But what is our website name? This is my website name. Okay. Let me copy it into one of my notepad and I'll come across this again. Okay. So what is our website name? This is the website name. So let me save it. So, but do we have an index.html files now, right? So let me create some index.html files and we can upload it. Okay, I don't have an index.html as of now. Okay, let me create an index.html. Let me try some test. Okay, so I'll save it as a index.html extension. Okay. Okay. So okay, and also I'll try to have a. Okay, I try to have a error.html. Okay, this website under development. Okay, the website under development. Okay, you can see this. So, okay, what I'll do, I'll try to make it as a error.html. Okay, we'll name it as error.html. Okay, these two files I want to upload it. In HTML, if you are programmatically you want to write a number of HTML pages, and you can add, okay, you can add the all the you can maintain all the HTML. HTML. Okay. So, okay, so you can upload these two particular images, okay, into my bucket. Then go to bucket and objects this particular. So upload. What are the files you want to upload? On desktop, I have an index.html. Okay. So also I have one more file called error.html. So okay, if you observe this one, okay, let me explain this as well. So as I told you, AWS has storage classes. So we have three types of storage classes. We have standard IA is nothing but infrequent access, and reduced redundancy. What is mean by these three? So standard will have a 99.99 availability and 99.99 of the durability. Okay, cost also a bit high compared to this. The cost will change in regular intervals. Okay, so you can check it Google with Amazon. Okay, because the cost. So infrequent access, if you are not using infrequently, so you can move the data into the standard infrequent class. And reduced redundancy is nothing but, okay, the redundancy will reduce. You'll get a 99.99 and 99.99, and the availability and durability will same. In reduced, okay, this is also one of the certification question and interview question, I can say. So there are three types of storage classes are there in S3. Based on the your requirement, you can select the different types of the storage classes. Standard will have this particular availability and durability, and okay, infrequent standard infrequent also almost same, but only the difference you could see here that is 99.99 availability and 99.99 the durability. Okay, so but you see, I want to apply a rule here. So whenever there is a data uploaded or else objects uploaded into the server, into S3 bucket, I enabled the version. So there are n number of old files also uploaded into, maintained in S3 bucket. To reduce the cost, what I'm trying to do is, all the old versions I want to move to the, after 1 month I want to move to the, from the standard to standard infrequent. After 1 month I want to move to the reduced redundancy. After 1 month I want to delete it. That means 30 days I want to move to standard infrequent. After 60 days I want to move to the reduced redundancy. After 90 days I want to delete the old versions. Why? Because old copies of the old files of old copies of my file may not be used regularly. So that I can move it to different storage classes. I can delete it once it is done. Am I clear with this? Okay, how can I apply that kind of rule? I'll show you that. Is it clear? If you are not using frequently any particular data, I want to have a rule to move my data to different storage classes. Okay, after certain time I want to delete the old copies or else present working copies, whatever you want, based on your client requirement, you can set. Guys, can you hear me? There is no response.
Raghu, I have the one query that if we have it is automations to the standard to the data move the after the 30 days move the on standard IA.
Yeah, that is a rule we can write. I'll show you that. How can we write a rule to automatically the data can be transferred from one storage class to other storage class based on the requirements.
Okay.
Quite long time there is no noise, so that I thought you can hear me. Okay, let me show you. First we'll try to have a static website, then we'll try to write a rule to move our data based on the requirements. Okay? So as of now, let me upload the data. I have now index.html as well as my error.html. So what I'll do now, let us have a website. Okay, already I enabled the static website, right? So I enabled my static website. So let us check whether this website will work or not on my browser. Okay? So this is my website name, as I told you. Okay, so we open this on one of the browser. So it is, we don't have a right permissions on this particular index.html or error.html files. So what I'll do, I'll give the right permissions or else access permissions over the globe, make public. Yes, I did make public. So now I try to open this on the browser. See that this is the test S3 rocket. So it is my website now. Can we give this kind of website to my client? Test S3, S3, Web API, South One, Amazon, this one? No, we cannot give that kind of website names, right? So what we can do is we have a Route 53 in AWS. A Route 53 will act as a DNS service, DNS in your AWS. So what we can do, we can create a domain. That domain we can redirect to this particular website. So automatically, indirectly, we are trying to open this particular website. So I'll show you that as well. So let us say, initially we have a test S3 bucket, but in this particular index.html having the content like a test S3 bucket web. So I'm trying to change my index.html and try to upload it. That means I am overwriting my existing file, right? I'm trying to overwrite my existing file. Okay, so how can we open this particular one? Actually, I used to have Notepad++, but I'm using my office laptop. So, okay, let me open with Sublime. Okay, we have a Sublime option. Let us open with Sublime. The Sublime text. So let's open this. So, okay, this is the just I'm trying to change it as okay updated file. So okay, just save this file. Now try to upload this file again. Okay, try to upload this file again. So if you look at the object details now, so it is uploaded May 27, 9:48. Okay, at 9:48 we upload. Sorry, 9:43 we have uploaded, and now it is 9:51. Let us upload it again. Okay, upload. So add files. That is index.html. I'm trying to get. Okay, this is the index.html. Try to open it. So okay, fine. Okay, I upload it. So just try to click on upload. So once it is uploaded, you could see that okay, the latest version of the file is. If you check out the timestamp, that is 9:51 timestamp. So after uploading, you realize that the old file will be the useful one. That old file you require. How can we get it? Okay, all the files. Okay, as I enable the versioning. Okay, we enable the versioning or not? Okay, we have enabled the versioning. So once I enable the versioning, all the versions of the file will be stored. Right? That is what we discussed, right? So if you look at the old version, okay, these people will keep on changing the look and feel of the S3. So let us look at that index.html page level. Okay, okay, latest version it is, but if you can look at the different versions. Okay, this is the 9:43 timestamp. This is the 9:51 timestamp. So you can get okay if you want to download the latest version or else the previous version, any version. If you want to download, you can download it. If you want to delete it, you can delete it. Okay, let us make this public as of now. Okay, the new file, right? Okay, let me make it as a public for some time. So okay, try to look at some other settings. Okay, I made it as a public, this particular file. Okay. Yes. So we'll try to refresh my website now. When I refresh my website, okay, it should be uploaded, updated. Okay. Now, you feel that, okay, I don't require the new version file, I require the old file to be, okay, made production. So just I can delete this particular file. Okay, I can say this particular latest version, if I want to delete it, I can delete it. So which version will be available now? The old version will be available now. You see that? It is 943 version is available. Just refresh it. Which version will get it here? You will get the old version now. That's test bucket now. Right? So you can download, if you want, you can download the old version file and you can maintain it. That is you can maintain the versioning and you can maintain the static website hosting. So the management level, you can write a rules, the application lifecycle rule. The application lifecycle rule is nothing but you can move your data to different storage lifecycle classes. Okay, so you can write a rule. Let us be something to different lifecycle. Okay, so whatever the name I can say. Okay, rule name it is. Add any filters. Okay, I don't want to add anything now. So you want to maintain on a current version file or previous version file. Remember one thing. There are two versions. Current version is the latest version. That is what you are using in a production. Previous versions is nothing but all the overwritten files. So you don't want to touch to current versions. Suppose you can apply to only previous versions. Suppose let us say you want to apply on both the versions, current and previous versions. I want to maintain 1 year as a current version, 3 months as a previous version, based on your client requirements. Okay? I can, as of now, I'm showing you the previous versions only. You can say add transactions. Okay, different transactions you can add. Select the transaction to infliction taxes, or else, okay, let us say after some around 30 days, okay, I can say somewhere around 30 days, I want to move to standard transaction to standard infrequent taxes after 30 days. So you want to add one more transaction? Okay, fine, you can do it. I can say from the standard infrequent taxes to I want to move to the okay. So I want to move it to okay. Amazon Glacier after the standard infrequent, it is a reduced limit. So there is some other options also available. Okay, I will see.
Raghu,
Yes.
yeah, can we set the like a 3 months, 6 months, 9 months like that?
Yes, that is up to you. See that I have given 30 days first. If you want 60 days, you can maintain, or else you can maintain 90 days. That is up to you.
Okay, fine. Yeah.
Okay, Glacier is nothing but okay, reduced redundancy kind of thing. Okay, now you can say okay, clean up. Okay, if you want to okay, previous versions you want to clean up also, expiration you can do the previous version after some 45 days, something 1 year, or else whatever you want to say, you can clean up the expired objects delete marks. Okay, we want to delete that particular previous versions, you can delete it. The previously okay, permanently delete the previous versions after certain something around 360, something around 180 days, something 60, 6 months after all the previous version files. After 180 days, something you want to delete it. Okay, so you can set up these things. See that our entire rule, how we configured the rule name is this. We want to apply on whole bucket. You want to apply on whole bucket or else any particular format. Let us say .php files, .java files, or else .txt files or log files. Whatever the format you want to apply, or else any prefix or suffix, you can apply anything. Transactions are like 30 days I want to move it to this, 60, 90 days I want to do this, I want to move it to Glacier. After 180 days I want to permanently delete it. That is the rule we have created and we applied it. Am I clear with this? Any doubts? Permissions, you can add different permissions, different users, you can add different permissions and all. Okay,
Yeah,
but ideally,
so I think that's can we give that can we add the users from the IAM also, so who can maintain that this like a configuration?
yes, we can do that as well. Okay, based on IAM policy. Okay, I'll discuss in a while. We'll come to IAM. So at that time you can understand what is IAM. Okay, we can give. Let us say user Srikanth is added. So he can manage IAM. He can manage S3 buckets. So he can do the S3 buckets or whatever you want to do. S3 level, he can have a permission. Based on the role what we given to the IAM user, he can do it. So as of now, what I'm trying to show you here is I've created a tech S3 bucket, but in that particular object, who can access it? If I say everyone can access. But ideally, no one will do this in this particular role. Okay, they'll work with the bucket policies. What is the bucket policy? Let us say we have in my scenario, we have one bucket. We have a number of buckets. One of the bucket we say we maintain all the survey results. Okay, we do a number of surveys in market and we put all the surveys in S3 bucket. So before filling, anyone can view that particular. That means they can download and fill it. Once they upload it into the S3 bucket, no one can see that. So you can write n number of bucket policies. Okay, based on your requirement, you can write it. Let me show you some of the bucket policies in Google. Then we cannot write all the bucket policies. I'll show you that. Okay? AWS S3 bucket policies. Okay, bucket policy examples. Okay, let me discuss some of the bucket policies and we'll try to go. So your requirement is like this. Your bucket can be accessed to only specific IP address. That means your corporate IP from your corporate network only you want to access your bucket. Yes, you can do that. You want to access only specific HTTP address. Permissions to multiple accounts. Suppose AWS have different AWS accounts are there for you. One is production, one is development, one is testing. Okay, this S3 bucket can be accessed to dev and test and production. Yes, you can do that. Read-only permissions to every particular users. Okay, can be view, cannot download or cannot delete, cannot upload. Only they can read that particular. Let us say you are working for a company called MP3. You uploaded all the videos or you uploaded some songs into S3 bucket and you are given over web. You are giving access to them. Okay, so they can only listen the songs or they can only view the videos. Okay, they cannot either download or delete or upload the things. Just can give the permissions. Let us see the sum of the permissions. How can we do that? One by one, we'll try to understand it. Okay. First example is, so you can see that in Google a number of policies you can see. So you see that basically in policies we have three types of, three conditions will be there. SID is nothing but you can give your description. Effect, principle, action. There are three important things you need to understand: principle, effect, principle, action. Effect is nothing but you can either allow or deny. I say allow. What is the principle? Principle is nothing but your IAM user or IAM account or whatever for every resource in Amazon will have a unique name. ARN, they call it as ARN. ARN is nothing but Amazon resource name. So you can give that principle name here. Action is in S3 level either you can put it or object ACL. Okay, whether they can put object or else they can put object ACL. Object ACL is nothing but setting the access control list permissions kind of thing. Either you can upload that and you can see that. Resources, some example bucket. On only one example bucket, they can either put or they can do some operations. Okay, this is one of the example bucket policies. There are n number of example bucket policies are there. See, one of the examples there, what they are saying. Okay, whatever the description is, SID is allow. Principle is everyone can. Everyone can allowed on S3 or star means on S3 level, whatever the options. It may be put object, it may be get object, it may be delete, it may be upload, it may be, okay, whatever the actions are there, it is allowed. Resources is on my example bucket, on my test S3 bucket. But the condition is who can do, okay, anything can do from on S3 bucket, on S3 example bucket, but IP address should be this one, IPv4 or IPv6. AWS source IP should be this. By 24 means up to here you can blocked, and okay, 24 means 8 plus 8 plus 8. These three are blocked, and from the 143.0 to 143.251 anyone can upload or delete or whatever you want to do. That means you are allowing to one particular submitter. But it is not allowed to a specific address, not IP address, AWS source IP. Oh, everything is allowed, but this is not allowed. You can write conditions like this. Okay, these are all the some example bucket policies. Try to go through it. Okay, and okay, if you have any concerns or any doubts, you can ask me. Right? Okay, we cannot explain all the. Okay, the explanation in detail are given over here. Okay, you can try. Have a try on this. Okay. If you want to enable the encryption also, you can enable the encryption. That means if it is encrypted data only, then only you can upload it to S3 bucket. If it is not encrypted, you cannot upload it. Okay, such kind of options also there. Encryption. Okay, AWS S3 encryption. Try to check that. Okay, so what is the AWS S3 encryption? You know, so you can go to objects. Encryption at rest. They call it as encryption at the rest means. Okay, let us say all instances upload. Okay, next. Okay, you can say manage public permissions. You can say then here I want to add. This is the the encryption. Okay, if you want to have a master key, you can do that. Or else AWS KMS master key. Okay, you can say that. AWS S3 master key. You can say this one. So you can. This is the encrypted at rest. That means if someone, any idea what is encryption at rest? Anyone? Say yes or no, so that I will explain what is encryption at rest.
Encryption address is that like if somebody is uploading the data, so that's during the uploading of the data, that data should be the encrypt, and that encrypt should have the key. So somebody is downloaded, so that encryption should be with him, and then he can decrypt the data.
Yeah, okay, that is a one way of encryption. So that means you can have a master key. With that master key, either you can upload or download it will be encrypted. Encryption at rest is nothing but let us say you uploaded any data into S3 bucket. Okay, once you uploaded into S3 bucket, that will be encrypted. Suppose someone taken the disk and they want to access it somewhere, they cannot access the data. But while retrieving the data, again it will automatically decrypted, and you can, based on the permissions you have given, they can access it. Okay, let us say in your artist laptops you might have observed. Okay, they'll encrypt your hard disk with this one of the encryption technology like reverse inventory. That means that data can be accessed from only your laptop. If someone stored that particular hard disk and they want to connect to some other laptop and they don't access it, no, they cannot access it. Means that is encryption at rest means at that particular disk level when you are copying the data, that will be encrypted. Okay? That is the encryption. So, okay, we have seen all the properties, permissions and management, such kind of options. Okay, try to practice it. I'll try to upload all the labs for S3, AWS autoscaling, load balancer, all those things I'll try to upload the lab documents, try to practice it. So in previous class, we tried to upload one Vagrant with AWS integration scenario. I hope you all get it. You might have practiced it, right? Right? So let us see the RDS. Okay, we'll try to complete today RDS, and okay, we'll jump. Okay, so if I complete RDS today, what are the topics I've left out in English? So let me list out so that we are not. So we try to complete RDS now, and IAM if possible. And okay, all of you try to create a one domain today at GoDaddy. Okay, it cost you. It not cost you more than 200 rupees. Any domain. Okay, try to register a domain. So that tomorrow we'll try to show you how can we use the Route 53 to redirect my my actual website to either S3 static website or auto scaling. Try to create a domain. So.
Raghu, I have one help from your side. So can you just provide some document or some like a video so to for the regards with the EXI, because we are using our in infra on that's VMware. So do you have any documentations or something like that we can help to how to deploy the instance on through on the EXI through the
Yes, yes,
Vegas?
yes. Through the Vagrant.
Yeah, through the Vagrant, yeah.
Oh, okay. You want me to show you the scenario with the help of the Vagrant? How can we deploy the instances in the ESXi,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Or maybe you can provide us documentation so I can go through it in my office, and then I can, if I have some issues, then I will let you know that.
Definitely. By tomorrow, I'll give you the document. Okay. In tomorrow's class, I'll show you the document.
Yeah. Thank you.
So, okay, let us see that RDS now. So, in RDS is nothing but relational database service. That means Amazon is giving the database as service. Everything they have prepared it, and they are directly giving you a database as service. So, if you want to have a database in my traditional data center, RDS or any particular database, so generally you require a server first, right? On top of the server, you require an application OS. On top of the OS, you need to install the database. Then from there, the database engineer will start, like they'll create a table spaces and all. Then they'll start, right? So this is the flow generally happens. So in Amazon, they have removed these two layers of administration. That means the server administration, OS administration directly they'll take. Directly you can create a DB and you can hand over it to the database engineers so that they can create the tables and all. So the two layers are removed. So directly they are giving you database as a service. Let me show you how can we work with that. So, okay. So I might be a bit fast in discussing, but we have to discuss a number of things as a DevOps course practice. So okay, please try to understand and do all the labs. So let us start one particular database. So these many databases are available in Amazon RDS. Okay? RDS is nothing but relational database. If you want to use only feature eligibility, you can select it. Okay? So you have a MySQL, MariaDB, PostgreSQL, Oracle, MySQL, MSSQL, these many things are there. Let me show you with MySQL. Okay? MySQL. So you can select one of MySQL. And you can select MySQL with what is the license part you want to use. You can have your own license as well. Okay, what is the type of the instance you require? Okay, T2 micro. As a free tier eligibility, we are getting only T2 micro, that is 1 CPU and 1 GB of RAM. Okay, do you require a multiple availability zone deployment? Yes, you can. If you want, you can have a multiple availability zone deployment. But as a free tier eligibility, we don't have an option to multiple availability zone deployments. So if you remove that, okay, if you want to have a high availability deployments, yes, you can say this one. As a free tier eligibility, we are getting 5 GB of space. Okay, you just give all the details of a DB identifier. Let us say, okay, my app DB something. Okay, what is your master username? I say root. What is your master password? Just I say welcome. Okay, it should be some 8 characters. I say welcome 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? So your confirm password welcome 1, 2, 3, 4. Just next step. You can give all the details like which VPC you require, which subnets you require. Okay, okay, all those things you can say, and you can say that okay, which port you want. What is your database name? Okay, let us say my DB. Okay, what is the port number? Database port number. By default, MySQL use 3306. Don't change that. And you can see that okay, backups also automatically taken. You need not to manage the backups as well. So once you set up while defining your database, if you set up that database number of days you require, the maximum number of days you can set up is 35 and minimum is 0. So if you don't want a backup to be done automatically, you can say 0. Okay, or else you can set up number of the days. So at any point, let us say I've set up some 10 suppose. At any point of time, it will maintain 10 snapshots. That means if on 11th day, if it is created a new snapshot, the first snapshot will be deleted. On 12th day, second snapshot will be deleted. That means it will maintain 10 retention periods. Right. Okay, the retention period is nothing but number of copies you require. Backup window, if you let us say if you require a backup, at what time you want to have a backup. Select a window, you can specify in a particular time, so that in that particular time the backup will be initiated. Okay, so that is the backup window. So if you want to upgrade, minor upgrade, major upgrade also, you can do that. Okay? Automatically version upgrades. So the backups, version upgrades, OS maintenance, server maintenance, everything done by Amazon directly. If you launch a database and RDS, directly they'll give you an endpoint. Okay? They'll give you an endpoint. Through that endpoint, you can manage your database. That's it. Okay, the endpoint is not yet prepared. If you have an endpoint, directly that endpoint you can give it to your database engineer, and they can create tables, and that can be given to the application, and the application will be stored the data. That's it. Right? This database endpoint can be managed through your applications. So what are the operations we can do on a database? So okay. You can see the details. As of now, it is creating. You can create a read replicas. So let us say most of the scenarios you'll get a read request than the write request. See? Let us say you are working for an e-commerce site. All the products are updated once. So n number of users will try to see that particular product, right? Read request. So if you want to reduce the burden on my production server, database server, so I can create a read replica. And all the read requests will go to the clone server, that read replica server. All the write requests will go to the production server. You can create n number of read replicas. That means it will create a clone. All the read requests will go to the read replicas. Right? Then you can promote read replica as a production server as well. Suppose your production server corrupted or something went wrong. Okay, so your read replica you can promote it as a production server. If you want, you can take snapshots at any point of time. Suppose you are doing the maintenance, immediately you can take a snapshot and you can go for the maintenance. Migrate it to the latest snapshot, something went wrong, some wrong logs are updated. You want to revert it back, you want to go to latest snapshot, yes. You can modify. Modifying the sense I've taken initially T2 micro, I want to make it as large server now. You can say modify. That means you can, from the T2 micro 2, you can go to any particular server. That means any type of the servers. You can increase the size, you can decrease the size. If you want to reboot it, yes, you can reboot it. Still it is creating. Once it is created, you will get the endpoint. So that endpoint, how can we connect it? How can we connect it? Okay, let me show you some of the SQL commands. Okay, connect MySQL RDS. Okay. And with PHP or any other applications, if you want to manage with this particular endpoint, yes, you can do that. Okay. So as of now, let me show you some of the examples. You'll get an endpoint like this, my instance hyphen. Okay, my instance hyphen your instance ID and all. You'll get an endpoint. So how to connect it? Yes, you can connect MySQL -h hostname -p port name -u username -p password. In this particular way, you can connect to your database. So let us see whether it is whether the database has created or not. Still, it is not yet created. Once it is created, you can connect it. Okay, how to connect it here? This is the endpoint is nothing but your host name. So how to connect? MySQL -h, the endpoint name. Till here, the endpoint name. The port number is 3306. Username, whatever the username I've given root in my case, and I can P password welcome 1234. That is the way you can connect it. Once you connect it to the database, you can either list it the database, you can backup, you can take the backups, you can restore it. Okay, all the things you can do. You want to show the database, you want to copy it, you can do. Or either you can connect it to the PHP, you can connect it to any other applications. Okay, that creating a table spaces and all can be done by your database engineer. So we can manage that. So ideally, either you can take a backups or restores, or you can connect it. Okay? Only those kind of tasks we can do. Okay, let me show you. Okay, the endpoint is created now. Okay? This is the endpoint actually. So how to connect it? Let us say one of my instance will connect it to one of my instance. Okay. So how to connect it? Let us say this is the server we want to connect it. Okay. If that server is available, 13/176. Let's see. instances level, 2 instances are running. Let us see whether the 13-126, 13-161. I think that is terminated. So what I'll do, I'll try to connect to one of my running server, that is 13.126, 31.161. Okay, that is the one server is running in my server. So let us connect it. So from this particular AWS server, we'll try to connect to my database server. The type of name or the server is not known. Okay. It is not dot, it is hyphen. Sorry. Right? So it is connected. Okay, it is connected. So sudo su hyphen, I am becoming a super user. Okay, let me copy that. This is my endpoint name, but what the command to connect to the any database server? So MySQL -h. Okay, this is the so this is the command, actual command to connect. Okay, programmatically in a graphical interface also you can do that. Okay, some of the applications are there. You can use that and you can connect. So as of now, I'm command line. I'm trying to connect. So what is my endpoint ID? Okay, my endpoint name, the host name. You can say host name -h. Host name is this. Port number is this. Username. What is the username? It's the root. Right? I've given a root as a username. So root and -p is nothing but password also you can assign it, or else you can give manually. So let me connect it. Paste -p. So for the password, welcome 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can connect it to MyDB. Okay. So let us see what is the, let us see the details of that particular instance. We'll go to the database and we see the details of that particular database engine. You can see all the details over here. Okay, what is the database name? What is the username? Okay, what is the ARN of this? ARN is nothing but Amazon resource name, as I told you. Engine, license model, created time, DB name, username, owner, option groups and all. Like DB instance is available now, multiple availability zone, no, automated backups, we disabled it. Okay, so okay, these are all the different options we have here. Let us see what is the connected, whether it is connected or not. Can you please check the security tool? Yes, exactly, you are right. So you are right, Sailesh. We may not be enabled the security group, okay, to connect this. Okay. So the security group is this. Okay, RDS launch wizard. Let us see that what is the ports are enabled and from where it is enabled. So if you look at the security group, inbound level, okay, so it is allowed from this particular IP 103, this particular one. So okay, let us say edit. Okay, custom, let us say what is my IP. Okay, my IP. So from my IP it is allowed. Okay. If I say anywhere, I should allow it. So why it is not matching? MySQL iPhone H. Okay, port number this 3306, right? 3306. Okay, let me get 1, 2, 4. Yes, see that MySQL is connected. Let us say show DB something, right? Show DB program. So MySQL, let us see some MySQL commands. MySQL us see some of the MySQL commands. Okay, possibly try to look at the MySQL commands. Okay, to log in, this is the command MySQL host name, username, and password. Create two databases. This is a command to look at the databases. What are the databases are there in the particular RDS. So, let's see that MyDB is there. That is my database. So, if you want to create a table in that, okay, you can see that, okay, these are the different options. You can go to that and you can create the tables and you can add any fields and what you can do that. Okay, this is the way you can create a database, you can connect it. If you want to take a backup of that particular database, you can use a MySQL dump, okay? MySQL dump. Yeah, this is a command, MySQL dump -u, username and password and host name, okay? Which database you want to take, -h host name, and okay, you can do this. Yes, I'm trying to give you some of the cheat sheet commands and URL. You can try to create it, try to copy this. So again, we'll stop over here and okay, we'll jump into some other topic. The RDS level, suppose let us say different RDS options are there. I showed you some of the options like how can we so we go to RDS. Yes, this is the RDS. If you look at the details, yes, you can see the details of the particular RDS. And if you want to increase the size of the database, let us say it is a T2 micro. If you want to make a modifier for one, yes, you can modify it. The modify in the sense you can change the size from the T2 micro to any other large server, but okay, it should not. It is not a free type service. Okay. So if you look at the take snapshot, you want to take a backup, you can take that. You can create a read replicas. Read replicas is particular. It is helpful for the read-only options. All the read requests will go to read replica to reduce the load on your production server, that is your actual server. So you can do that read replicas and you can all the read requests will redirect to that. So you can get the logs of the particular database. You can see over here. And you can take actions, instance actions, you can see details of the same thing, you can see that. Show monitoring, you can see what all the details, okay, what is happening, how the activities are being connected, free storage, and all these things you can see. Okay, so if you want to have anything, okay, if you want to implement or if you want to get support from Amazon, you can go to support and you can click on support center. Okay. I think last time I've given some tasks to you on Amazon. I hope you have all done that task. If not, try to do it. Okay? You can create a task, you can create a case, you can invent a case, and you can apply for the either service or technical support. You can give all the details, and once you've given all the details, you can have a different options, either phone call or web or chatting. If you have a paid service, you have a chatting option as well. Immediately they'll come into the picture and they'll look at that. Okay, if you're given any, so let us say if you have any particular instance issue, what is issue, whatever issues, okay, if you give the details to them, they'll look into that and they'll try to give you the solution. Okay, you can raise a call with Amazon, and okay, if you want, you can share your screen to them. Okay, they'll try to look at your screen and you can work with them and you can resolve those issues, or if you want to implement any new particular service also, you can contact to Amazon. How to contact it? Go to support center. Go to support center and you can connect it in this particular way. Go to support center and raise a call. Right? Is it clear? So let us look at some of the services in IAM. So the topics left out is, as per my understanding, the important topics are VPC. The rest of the topics level is VPC, Route 53, and we'll try to understand IAM and CloudWatch. Okay, every topic will take somewhere around 15 to 20 minutes. Somewhere around first half we'll try to finish these particular topics, and we'll jump into the Git. That means we'll try to jump into the DevOps sessions. So I'll give you the DevOps understanding tomorrow, and we'll start Git tomorrow. Okay. So any doubts in this particular class onwards, whatever we discussed, you can raise your hand, you can ask the questions, whatever. And try to understand more things in coming days. So tomorrow I'll take a half an hour extra kind of thing because we last 2 to 3 sessions. Actually, in our course content, we don't have this many AWS sessions. Still, okay, as of now, in DevOps, other people are expecting a cloud engineer as well, so that much more services. We are trying to cover much more scenarios. So, okay, so try to practice all those things. I've shared already vagrant integration with AWS. So if you practice that, you'll come to know what is IAM, what is IAMI, all those options. Try to practice it and come back to know. So we'll try to complete some of the services. And one more request from my end is create a domain in one of the domain providers, like either GoDaddy or anywhere. It will not charge you more than 200 rupees. Okay. So try to create a domain in a GoDaddy, and so we'll see that how can we redirect the domains in AWS. Okay. Okay, guys. Thanks for attending today. Any concerns or any doubts? Okay, we'll stay together. Okay, I'll try to take your screen and we'll try to resolve issues. Okay. So we'll spend. After the class, we'll spend some 15 to 20 minutes to discussions on doubts or any concerns. Okay, in that way, we'll go for it.
Raghu, just make sure that please tomorrow you can provide us some document about the EXSI.
Sure. I'll try to get it for you. Tomorrow, I'll try to upload the document into your LMS.
Yeah.
Any other concern, guys? Any issues? Okay. Thanks for attending. So see you tomorrow at same time. Okay.
Thanks.
Bye. Bye. Take care. And one more important thing: when you are practicing the autoscaling lab, make sure that autoscaling is deleted. If you not deleted an autoscaling, if you terminated the instance or if you stop the instances, we have seen that automatically new servers will spin up. To avoid that in that particular scenario, just delete the autoscaling so that automatically the servers will get deleted. Right? The instances will get deleted. If you stop or if you terminate the instances manually, because of the autoscaling behavior, new instances will get spin up. Okay. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, Suresh. Bye.
Raghu?
Yes, please.
Yeah, as usual, started with 8 o'clock, correct?
Yeah, as usual, we'll start with 8 o'clock, but we'll try to spend more half an hour tomorrow onwards to cover whatever the missed classes. Okay.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah. Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.